So, vision. So going back to the vision here, that's the strategist, the Imagineer, interested in the latest technology and gadgets. But that also exists in negotiation. So visionaries, they so what drives us? What drives them? That is an important question. So what you need to understand in negotiation is you need to separate position from interests. Not only yourself but also the counterpart. This happens very often, that people start to identify themselves with their position. So that basically when you are negotiating and you say, okay, I'm selling this car and I'm not going to sell it for anything less than 4 million yen, right? That is what I want to get with this car. So once you're negotiating, you reach the point that you get to your minimum price, people feel like, okay, I can't go beyond this because I will lose, right? So that they identify themselves with their position. That is a very bad attitude to have during negotiation. So the same is true for your opponent, for your counterpart. So you need to make sure that you are not going to look at positioning yourself too strict, but look at the interest. Okay, what is the interest by setting the price at 4 million? Is that basically what I know is that based on what I bought the car for, my expenses, I made a formula, and I know that for this kind of car I need to make at least 4 million, otherwise, or I need to ask permission from my boss, and I don't want to do that. So this is the reason behind the scene, the hinterlying, the in the background. That's what you're thinking, right? So that is basically your interest, not your position. The 4 million is the position. But the interest is, I don't want to escalate to my boss, or I feel that I need to make at least this much money because otherwise I cannot make the longer run. I cannot make my annual revenue enough to keep this garage open, for example. So separating positions from interest is very important. Then another thing to consider here is personal interest. Basically, people don't.
Wait a minute. First, you explain separate position from interest. What does this mean?
So that means, so what I just to try to explain. People can say, I want 4 million, right? Why do they want?
Seller.
Right. So no, the seller wants 4 million. As a buyer, I need to figure out why they want 4 million, because maybe there is something in there that he doesn't want to talk to his boss, for example, that I can do in order to create opportunities to actually make him budge on this 4 million, if I know what the interest is, instead of just focusing on the 4 million. So for example, I don't know, maybe we can get a financing agreement or something else, or anyway, make some kind of arrangement that I can offer, okay, I will buy it for 4 million, but I want financing from you at this interest rate, for example. So that he doesn't need to go to his boss, and actually I can get a good deal because I don't have to pay the car immediately, but I can buy it. I can pay for it maybe next year or something like that, right? So if you only focus on the 4 million and you cannot agree on that, then you lose an opportunity to actually make a good deal. So separating positions from interest is very important. Always try to find why do people have a certain position? Why is that important to them?
Position means what? What is this position?
It's, for example, I want 4 million and nothing less. That's their position. But the position is what is at the outside. But what actually drives them to put the 4 million is more interesting as a negotiator. So because 4 million might be a number that they like what I said before, like if it is less than 4 million, he needs to escalate it to his boss, and he doesn't want to do that.
So it means forget how much money they're going to pay for us.
Ask yourself, try to get to know the other person by talking with him, by gaining his trust, by revealing, letting the other person reveal why 4 million is so important to him.
So you mean position from interest means ask them to forget how much money they're going to spend.
So ask them. So why? So basically, so why? Why is why don't do you, are you
Why
not
4
prepared?
million?
So why 4 million? Why is that so important for you? Why does this person insist, for example, on financing? Maybe he doesn't have the money, right?
But so that's what I don't understand. Why do you say separate position from interest?
So do not only take the 4 million, no financing, free warranty, etc., as the basis of interest. Try to find out why people take these positions. Because what we are looking at in negotiation is trying to create an outcome which brings most benefit to both sides. Right, so that's basically a Western negotiator. In phase number 1, he will try to create as much value for both sides as possible. It's kind of so-called win-win negotiation. But once you have maximized the value, so you have together collaboratively looked at all the options and I gave away things that were not so important to me to the other side who valued those options a lot, and in exchange I received a lot of valuable concessions from the other side. So both we have become happier with the outcome by design, right? So that is win-win negotiation. But finally, once you have that, you're going to try to get as much value from the table. So by getting to know what people's interests are, you can make better proposals.
You say focus on interest, right?
Right.
And separate position means what does position mean?
Position means I want 4 million, right? Or and not a penny less, not a yen less. Otherwise, I walk.
Condition?
So that's where you draw the line. That's where
condition.
Right. So yeah, if I can't get this car in red, then forget it. I will not buy it. Or if you cannot deliver it to me by March 1st,
so it means
I'm no longer interested.
Which I don't understand means. You said 4 million, okay, not more or less. But interest and money is very relationship each other, right? What do you mean?
No, not interest, not rishi, not rishi. Interest is your what motivates you.
But you said personal interest and business interest.
Yeah.
But what do you mean interest and
interest is how your interest. No, it's not rishi. It's what you value.
Value, right?
Yeah.
Interest.
Yeah.
But separate position from value means money and value is
different.
Need to be balanced.
No. What I mean with interest is what you
concern,
what you value, what is important to you. So is the 4 million important, or is the fact that you don't want to talk to your boss important?
Okay, 4 million, right?
Right.
But also value is it should be balanced.
No, we're not on the same page here. We're not on the same page here. What I'm trying to say is that, of course, you want to value for money. That's what you're saying. No, I'm not talking about that. People take certain positions. I want 4 million. That is a position. That is where you basically draw a line in the negotiation. But I want to know, not the 4 million for me is not so interesting. What's more interesting for me is I want to know why this person needs 4 million.